we get to this point, because I don't want to be on my back, and I'm just kind of explaining it from my back. But really, I want to be like here immediately. So if he's already, let's say he's passing my guard, I'm not going to be like, okay, now I'm inside control and I start my escape. So as soon as he passes my guard, you're already on your side, you're blocking your cross face, and you're keeping your arm tucked. You know, depending on, you know, seeing what he's going to do. Because we've already been through a couple of escapes from here. So right here is kind of my spot where I'm like, okay, which one am I going to go for? If he's blocking my knee this way with his knee, then I work my belly down escape. If he's not, like if I'm here and I'm able to escape and get my knee through, you know, we go through that escape. So we've been spending a lot of time being structurally right? So we're not letting him get a hold of our head. That's bad news for us. Okay? And we're also not doing the wrong things with this arm. Okay? Like holding on here. That gives him opportunities to set up different side controls, to start setting up attacks on my arm. And it also kind of limits my defense for like chokes and stuff too. So, and also, you know, where am I going to go? Because if he doesn't even necessarily have to control this arm too much. I obviously can't go into him, right, too much because he's got this. If I try to turn away, he just pulls my elbow, right? No, my other elbow. And I can't turn away. So me giving him this arm, you know, gives him a lot of control over my body. Okay? So I don't want to be here. I don't necessarily want to be here, even though we're taught this a lot. Even though I'm here, he can still hold my elbow, and he can work with the angle of his body like that to smash my body, yeah, and get my arms away from my body, which is not something I want. Okay, so we're here with our gooseneck hand here. I don't have my hand in the crook of his elbow. I have my forearm, wrist. Okay, and I'm here just following his arm, not letting him hug my head. Okay, and this hand is in next to our body. If I have issues, like if I'm here and I'm trying to get my hand next to my body and he's smashing on my chest and I can't, then just bump and just create little bits of space so you can get your hand in here next to your body, okay? And then your knee. And you're here, and this is your posture, and you want to make him uncomfortable. Okay? So we also went over him sitting towards our head. Yeah. First thing we wanted to worry about is this elbow, right? If he separates our elbow like he did, like he held my elbow. Yep, go ahead and separate it. From here, what did I do? Walk my shoulders to get my elbow down. Okay? Then, same thing. Either I was here and he was like really lazy, I was able to set him up, or he tried this and that's not gonna work. So we also bridge, right? Got our knee on the inside, escape our shoulders, and he kept coming, and we got our guard back. Okay? So, this is all a recap, so any questions on that? None? So that's important it's important to know that once I get to here, a lot of people will stop right here, right? They think they got their knee in and they think they're okay. And they can just replace their guard. They forget about their shoulders. You gotta create your space here. And then even here, I'm not okay because there's still an open path. Yeah. So he's gonna be chasing and I still have my friends here to stop him. So if he comes, I still make more space to get my legs through, right? So we went through a movement that was kind of weird to people. You know, you start with your hip escape and your shoulders. And I move my whole body away. It's not just when you're escaping something, especially like side control, I don't just escape my hips because he's still got my upper body, right? So then for my escape, even if I have my knee in, you know, he can still get past this stuff. So you want to make sure that you escape your whole body. If I make space with my hips, I bring my knee in, now I make space with my shoulders. Okay? And if I need to, you can go back and forth until you're ready to get your guard back. Okay? Does that make sense? That was, I think, last week. Okay, so what happens if we're here, we got our posture, and they decide to start moving their arm over my body, right? So they're not always going to face my head, they're going to face your legs sometimes too. So as soon as you got to kind of be really aware of this arm, because this is like in a fight, this is what they're going to punch you with, right? So you got to make sure that you got that under control. And in jiu-jitsu, that's what they're either going to try to cross-face you with, they're going to try to grab your collar, or they're going to swim over your body and sit through to the other way, right? So we gotta make sure that with our head on the ground and our posture, we're aware of what they're doing. Because in reality, in jiu-jitsu, like rolling, I'm really not, as long as I have this posture, I'm not really in that much danger, right? As long as I'm aware of what he's doing with this arm, and I'm making sure that he's not getting into mount or progressing his situation, I'm not in too much danger right now. Okay, so I'm aware of this arm, and I'm aware of the mount of the knee. Okay, so as he swims over, I'm going to keep my arm going along with him, and as soon as it crosses in front of my face, my other hand comes in. Okay, now it's not just my hand, it's my forearm. Okay, it's closer to my elbow, because the further down towards the wrist I am, the more strength I have to use. And if he puts pressure on my wrist with his body, he's going to crush that frame, and it's no longer frame. But if I use more towards my elbow and he puts pressure, now he's going into structure, and I don't have to use much strength at all. Okay, so as he's here, you just kind of swim. My hand's already there. My hand's against my body. As he swims through, this one follows. Okay, I stick it through here, and then this hand that was racing in front of that comes now down into his hip. Again, my elbow towards my elbow. This part of my forearm right here is in his hip. I'm not pushing on his hip, because then he can just turn his hips and smash my wrist or just smash my frame. Okay, so I got my elbow, and then he turns towards my feet. So now here, this is where I want to be as he turns towards, as he's like facing my feet. Okay, I don't want him. I don't want this arm in, because then it's open to attacks, and I don't want this arm in, obviously. Okay, so I want to be here, framing. Okay, then everything else is the same, really. You keep the frame here, keep the frame in his hips, bridge, and you come here. If he's, lazy, take his back. If he's, once I'm here, if he's turned back into me, and I'm back here, and I can start working towards his back too if his arm is there, or I'm just back in a guard. Okay. So this is a very basic position of them facing your legs. Okay. So we're going to start here, head on the ground, make sure they're not getting into mount, blocking this cross face. He starts swimming his arm over, I'm aware, boom, stick my elbow in there, stick my forearm in there. This arm comes down here as he sits, turns his hips and sits. Boom, okay? Also, another key note, come back up. I don't want him to be like up over my chest or something as he turns and sits. Yeah, turn towards my legs, keep going, keep going. I don't want him to be up here. I can't really do much there. Right, so if he is, just shoulder walk and down towards your hips. Okay. Same thing, this leg has to be active. I don't want him just stepping into mount from there, right? He's got a free path right into mount. So that makes my position worse. So this knee stays active. If he decides to push that leg down to start stepping, this one comes up. Okay? Because a lot of times that's what people will do. Is they'll push, they'll take a big step over, and you can hook here. And you just so if he does push that leg, you gotta stay sensitive with your other leg. Bring that one up. So now you're ready. Okay. Even if I miss that, like he steps kind of more, over, I still have escape routes and stuff. Okay. So that's important to remember is to stay active with your legs. It's a lower body thing as well. So once we're here, we're just going to stay active. Same thing. Put your leg out, raise your over your shoulder, right, towards them. Get the same. Bring your knee in. Okay. If they decide to turn towards you, that's fine. Just keep your hip out more, and then go. If they don't, here, that's fine. You can grab the belt, bring your leg out, come into back control. Okay? Any questions on that? Very similar, pretty much identical to the way if they're facing your head. It's just they're facing your feet out. And then just bridge, turn your knee through. Good. Any questions? Oh, hands up. 1, 2, 3. Like this. Back to here. So that way, by the time he turns and sits, he's going against my frame, and he's going to be pushed down towards me. Okay. So next thing, another thing that's going to help us come back 1 second is as he turns, and say you know that he's going to turn. As he comes here, it's like, okay, I know he's going to turn. I'm going to turn my body too. Okay? So now I turn to face him. And this is going to help it's going to help me get him off base. If his butt is on the ground, he's out of base. Okay? So from here, what am I going to do? I'm going to use my top frame. I'm going to grab his belt, and I'm going to push away. I'm going to extend my body. Okay? From here, this leg is kind of staying active, and I'm kind of aware of what he's doing. Because if he decides to step over again, then I'm here. I'm ready to catch. I do that sweep. Okay? But I'm here. I kind of extend my frame away. Now I got to get up on my bottom elbow right here. The easiest way to do that is to bring my arm up north. Okay? I'm going to bring my arm up north almost to the point where I'm facing down. Okay? A lot of people try to get their elbow like this. That's hard because it is pushing back into me. I can't really get up onto my elbow, right? So I'm here, north, now I'm onto my elbow. Okay? His butt's on the ground, right? So all I'm going to do is switch my legs to here, turn belly down. And now I'm basically in the same position, but I'm going to finish. Okay? So, boom, we're here. We got our posture. He starts going. So here, start turning to my side. Okay. Now, if I'm hunched up right here, close to his hips, I'm not going to grab his belt and try to push him away. Okay. I'm going to grab his belt and then push my body away to lock my arm. Okay. Once my arm is locked, if I need to push his arm back into me for his butt, he's going straight against like at the end of a 2x4, right? It's structured. It's not, if my arm's bent and he pushes it, it's gonna win every time, right? Because his legs are stronger than my triceps, okay? Grab the lock. So I'll get in. Go ahead. It's gonna be really, really hard. You might be able to get it. It's gonna be a lot harder than my elbow is bent, okay? So lock your elbow. Okay? Make sure you keep aware of your legs. Arm up north, and pretty much just look at the mat. Go up on your elbow. Okay? Here, switch your legs. You can hook, if you can step all the way over, that's fine, but you can just hook his bottom leg, that's fine. And just use your bottom toes, lift your butt up. Turn belly down. Now, we're going to combine two. If I'm here, go on for this, and he goes back into me. Right back into his back. My knee goes through that hole that I created with my hips. And I'm here, ready to go. Okay?
You grab his belt?
Yep. So I push the belt away as I'm this way. And turning, trying to turn down this way. He pushes back into me and bring my knee through. Hold. Give him across. Okay. So one more time. Okay, right here, boom, he swims over here. Yep. Here, grab his belt, extend away. Up on my elbow. Okay? Uncross my legs. So my far side leg now steps over. I'll turn my hips this way. If he just goes, he goes. I get on top. If I push, he can back in, my knee slides through and I pull. Here. Okay? If I have to, hip escape, my leg in, get my seatbelt. Okay? Any questions on that? It's pretty, they work really well together. Really well together, so. Move here, go ahead. Do your step, right?
Real quick, if he doesn't turn it to you.
Yeah.
One more time.
Here.
All the way over.
All the way over. Yep. And don't let your butt hit the ground. You do the same thing right now.
So you're trying to land on it, like.
Yeah, you do it. Just don't sit on the ground. You want to be constantly sitting. Any side control, like if people, that's a mistake people make, is if I'm here, right, and I decide to go here, I put my butt on the ground, no good. Butt off the ground. So you want to keep weight on it. Same thing with like basic tummy here. If I sit through here, don't put my butt on the ground. I want to have, if I have my butt on the ground, he's not carrying any of my weight, maybe my upper body. The second I lift my hips a little bit, now he's got a lot more weight going through his ribs. Just an inch. That's it. The second I put my butt on the ground, he puts a frame in front of my neck. He's got a pivot point, right? For me. If I take my butt off the ground, really hard. Looks like you're always kind of shifting. Alright, so he's gonna carry so much more weight here. Make sense? So a good thing when you're on top side control is if you're shifting your hips, don't really sit your butt on the ground. Keep your just a little bit of air underneath your butt. That's it. Until you're ready to come to, all fours or a different, you're transitioning, right, where you can. But you gotta go all the way over that other one. Same thing with same thing with like where you hook with your foot. Here, right? When he pushes, you step over. Same thing with this. Here. You can come around the head if you have access. That will help. But what you should do is block this knee with your hand. If I just try to do this, he can base out with his knee, right? Yeah, you can spread it out. Yeah. Right? Bring your knee in too. Like square up to me. Yeah, like that. And my sweeps over. Okay, let's go back. If I go, if I start sweeping, and I block here, go. That blocks his leg. I can go at a different angle too. Oh, I'm not necessarily going straight this way, right? You can, but if he's resisting it, which they will, blocking, right? I can go in front of his head here, or like this, with this spine too, because I'm gonna go belly down, blocking this, so he can't bring his leg out. Not basic. So as I go, I block. And then as soon as I come over around this way, same thing. I'm not sitting down on the ground. Come in here until I get good solid position. Alright? Yeah. There's a lot of weight, too much butt in my face. Any questions on that? Okay, let's go ahead and try those. Hands up. 1, 2, 3.